Hello and welcome everyone, I'm Banana and this is Stellaris, a grand strategy game set in space. It is made by Paradox Interactive, as you can see up here, and those are the guys that actually made games like Crusader Kings and Europa Universalis. Now, you might have seen this game. There were some people who had pre-release copies. I wasn't so lucky, to be honest with you. I didn't even ask though, but doesn't matter. I think I'd rather show you what the game's all about, rather than talk about it. So I'm gonna start a new game, and as you can see there are two, well, civilizations with this little icon on the side. These down here are all the pre-made ones: the United Nations of Earth, Commonwealth of Men, Sin, Empire, Kingdom of Yondarim, or whatever, doesn't really matter. And there are two that I personally made. They're the Space Hydras, the Sloshian Sovereign Systems, that I started yesterday just to get a feel for the game, and the ones that we are going to play next. And we're going to play the Orni. Now, this is the way you build your species if you want to make them yourself. You have a lot of different, well, race thingies to choose from. You have the mammals, you know, like humans and cats and sloths. And you have some reptiles, different ones. You have a snap turtle, I think. But I went with the avian one and I want to play the Space Parrots. So that's that. You can give them a name, you can randomize if you want. I went with Orni. That's the first 4 letters of, you know, ornithology, I think. That's the science of birds, I think. So that's why I chose that. We're going to choose avian names, I guess. You can see some examples. Can click through. Oh, I like that. Claws of Burgundy, White Wing X-Tac. Those are great names. And since we're the Galactic Orni Consortium, our ship, whoops, almost knocked my coffee over, will be called GOC. Galactic Ornis Consortium, and then the ship name. And for the traits, I did not pick those. The rest I already started. I think since we're birds, I like to have intelligent as a trait. That's a great one. As you can see, it's down here. You can mouse over it. You can see we get 10% more engineering, more physics, and more society output. That's really nice. You can go for thrifty. We have 2 points available, and we can pick a total of 4. Now the red ones are the ones that cost us points, and the green ones obviously give us points. So we could take something and, you know, take something away from us. So we could go for solitary, then we have less happiness, but we get another point. Could do that. I think we are going to use maybe non-adaptive. No, you know what? Intelligent, because, you know, parrots are kind of intelligent, aren't they? And then we have no points left. But we're going to use, I guess we're going to go with yeah, sedentary. So we're going to settle a little bit slower, but we have another point to choose from, and I like enduring. Now that means our leaders are going to live very long, and that is a nice thing to have, I think. So we're going to use that. We can choose whatever, you know, the portrait, but it seems like we only have this one. And I kind of like the blue. And his name is Claws of Purple. Plume of Green. In that case, let's take a green one. Is there a green one? There's no green one. Beak of Magenta. Feathers of Indigo. Indigo is kind of like bluish color, right? So let's take that. Perfect. Now our main world will be a tropical one. It's more or less because it's, I would say, a RP type style. I think that parrots live in a jungle kind of type thing. That's what I think, so I like that. Avian City as our background, that's purely cosmetical, and now we have something that we need to choose, which I already did. We're fanatic materialists and collectivists. So, as you can see, we have a tolerance of slaves and we consume less food, and we're always put out more physics, society and engineering stuff. For example, you can choose different wheels here. The outer ones cost 2, the inner ones cost 1. And if I click here, you can see it costs 2 points. What you can't do is, you can't go pacifist and militarist. You can't be both. You can't go opposite. That doesn't work. So, I like this configuration. I like to be a science type guy. And that one seems to fit all of our stuff relatively fine. So, I like these two. Also, for a government type, as you can see, if you choose, let's say, militaristic, then you have these top ones available. If you don't, you don't. But I like this one, the Science Dictatorate. I like it, it's really cool. Every 40 to 50 years we're going to select a new ruler. And we get one more research alternative, and we have an increased empire leader capacity, which is nice. This extra research alternative will come in handy as soon as we start playing. That's just some cosmetic stuff, and I'm going to show you what this means in game. The starting weapons aren't really that big of a deal, I think, but to be honest with you, I have the feeling that missiles are somewhat superior due to their range. So I like the long-range missile weapons, so I'm gonna take them as my starting weapons. And then you have 3 choices for your space travel. You have your standard warp drive, where you can basically every ship can just jump from system to system. Every ship has a warp drive. You can go for a wormhole generator, where you have to build wormhole generators in every system, so you can jump there and back. And the hyperspace travel, where you can only drive or use existing lanes. Since warp travel is, suggested for new players, I'm going to use that. I think I am a new player. That's, once again, some avian stuff that's only cosmetical, as far as I can tell, and that's it. I'm going to save it. Yes, I want to overwrite, and we're done. Now there we go. You can go for a huge galaxy, but I think I'll stay with medium. I've been playing for 2 hours yesterday evening. Came out at 6 PM, so didn't really have that much time to play. And I didn't even find anybody. I like a spiral galaxy, actually. I like that a little bit more. We have 17 AIs. We have 4 advanced AI starts. I don't know what anything of that is. We're going to just leave it as it is, just swap it over to spiral, and let's go. I guess it was a little bit longer of an intro there as I would have liked, but I guess there will be an annotation to skip to right this point right here. So there we go. In the eons since the first primitive Orni communities took shape in the dense jungles of UN Prime, our civilization has spread and prospered. Through scientific progress, we have managed to stamp out the superstitions that ruled the minds of our ancestors. As reason and rational thought spread through our people, among our people, the inefficient nation states that we had until then organized ourselves into... What the hell? That's a really weird sentence. As reason and rational thought spread among our people, inefficient states that we had until then organized ourselves into were disbanded, and a council of our most accomplished scientists was gathered to rule in their stead. Okay, that makes sense. It's a really weird sentence though, in my mind. Now, after the successful creation of several experimental subspace fields, the finest minds of the Galactic Orni Consortium have finished the development of the first warp drives. The stars themselves are finally within our grasp. Now I know I don't read good, but
I am Vir, a prototype synthetic intelligence developed by the finest minds of our civilization to serve as your advisor. I shall endeavor to perform my duties with the utmost efficiency.
Let's go for no tutorial, thank you. Sorry. I think I got this now. Now this is the interface. It's pretty clean, pretty clear. It's a really nice outliner on the side where you can see all of our stuff. Oh, it's the first murder. Oh, now that's cool. I think I just saw that. I think a flock of crows is called a murder. A murder of crows. And since this is our military fleet, it's called a murder. I like it. It's a cool. That's a nice little thing. So yeah, you have, of course, everything can be controlled by hotkeys. So F1 is our galactic screen where we can see our government. Can go for an emergency election. That's interesting. We have our budget, policies where we can see what we want to do. We can go for edicts, which we need to pay for in influence, that you can see up here. And some demographics, and we're 100% Orni. Obviously, because we didn't conquer anything. So F2 gives you the planets and sector screen, where you can see we only have this one planet, and on this side is the starbase with no modules. We can go and add one module at the moment, a spaceport. The others are locked because it's just a tier 1 spaceport. Our leaders and the current factions. Everybody is in love with our government. It's nice. That's another empire screen where we can see all the planets and our species, the species that we found so far. The ship designer, I love the ship designer. We have the Screech Corvette, the Nest manufacturer, which is a the colony ship, I think, and we have the Float, which is yep, our science ship. Man, I love the avian design. I don't know why, I just think it looks really cool. I don't think it's particularly bird-like, but it looks awesome. I like this thin neck of the curvature. That it looks pretty cool. And as you can see, it's a striker core. You can change that to 3 different. You have a choice of 3. I think I'll keep the striker one. I like that this thing here is a medium nuclear missile and has 36 range. It's 10 more range and 100% accuracy. It deals quite a lot of damage too. I started with the, what's it called again? The Gauss cannons, basically. My first playthrough with the first test game. And I think they dealt way less damage, had a higher hit. No, they dealt more damage, but had a miss chance and less range. So, I don't know, I like the guaranteed damage more. One thing that we will use a lot is the situation log. We have no entries at the moment, but that's where everything will, you know, pop up. Or a lot of things will pop up. And of course the technology tab. And we start with our research, I guess. As you can see, it's paused. And this is what I was saying with gives an additional research option. You basically draw these cards, it looks like, and with one additional, you get one more choice, which is awesome. And I'm going to start with quantum theory to build physics labs. The society research will go for... that's interesting. I had different choices last time. I think we will go for biology. Oh, the biology thing. Oh, he has research speed for new worlds. That means he's good with everything that has this little flag symbol. So he's a little bit faster there. You know what? I don't think we should do that yet. I think we're going for planetary unification. I think it's hard to gain influence in the early game, I feel like it. So yeah, I guess I'll do that. And he has just a general He's just generally faster at researching. Yeah, that's actually not too shabby. Engineering is a good field to have. Ooh, fusion missiles, eh? But nah, not interested in that at the moment. Now we could upgrade our spaceport, but as you can see here, it costs 480 research points to make, and we're gaining 5 monthly. So it will take us, yeah, well, 86 months. That's a little bit long, I feel. So maybe we're going to go with these ones for now. Let's go for nanomechanics so we can build an engineering facility. Yeah, why not? Sounds interesting. Right? Next thing that you want to do is pay attention to these 4 buttons down here. And these are accessible with the 1, 2, 3, and 4 key. I guess I could even, you know, add another one, I think, with Control 5. I'm not sure, I haven't tried that yet. But as you can see, if I press 3 and Q, I love hotkeys in this game. So 3Q brings me exactly to the science ship. M opens up the galactic map. Oh man, it looks awesome. I love it. And yes, all the dots here are star systems or solar systems. So we have quite a long way to go. Also, this symbol here is a potential habitable planet, which is great. So we are going to use our science ship and tell it to, I think, survey our system first. And as soon as you did that, I'm pressing Shift and right click, I can usually order him to do that next. So he has now 29 orders in his queue, which is awesome. I love it. It's great. Press spacebar to start, and that's it. That's basically what we want to do. I think we're going to send our Corvette, Screechers. Oh, we have a Crippler. Oh, the GOC Screech, the Crippler, and the Howl, which are all Screech classes, over to Horshim, or Horskim. And I want to see whatever there could be. Ah, there we go. Our survey ship found some resources on the sun itself. It's Juven, a class K star, and it's a main sequence star, often referred to as Orange Dwarf. Fairly common sight, stable in the main sequence for up to 30 billion years, meaning that the world's orbiting K-stars will have a longer than average window to evolve life. That's great. And also, as you can see, the stars have different colors. So that one over there is also a K-star, while this one over here is a Class A star. That must be a Class A as well. I could see that because it's blue. And if you mouse over, as you can see, these relatively young white or bluish-white main sequence stars are typically among the most visible with the naked eye. They are large and rotate very quickly, but will eventually evolve into slower and cooler red giants. I don't know if we will ever see that happening. I don't know if we're really going to be around in some millions of years, but it's really cool that they added this. Okay, so our first murder will just jump around. Nice. We'll just jump around here and visit all the stars in our direct visible neighborhood, just to make sure that there are no enemies there. And since they kind of have, they have a little bit of firepower. I mean, they're tiny little Corvettes though, but still. We have an anomaly on Dracu. So during the survey of our home system, we found something on Dracu that did not match the observation made from our homeworld, which is great. This is an anomaly, and if we have a good researcher on the ship, the Eyes of Yellow as he is called, we have a low failure risk, which is great. The higher his skill, the lower the failure risk. This is an anomaly level 1. You can find higher level ones, which will give you a failure risk if your skill isn't high enough. Since we have no failure risk, let's do it. Come on. Let's go too. Look at it. Oh, it's paused. One thing that I need to tell you right now. I make a lot of mistakes when it comes to these games. I oftentimes pause and I forget that I should unpause, and I get stuck for a while. That happens to me. I need to tell you that right now, I guess. So all in all, I've been playing for about 3-4 hours with my space hydras. And yeah, I like the game so far. The start is a little bit slow. You can, of course, go and increase the speed. You can see it's now fast. Or even faster. There we go. So a lot of things happened simultaneously. We have an encounter in Yuan. Hey, they came over to us. We have encountered some form of alien vessels. These strange objects have been flagged as alpha aliens. So, why are they called alpha aliens? Simply because they're the first ones that we met. The second ones will be called beta aliens, and the third gamma, and so on and so forth. It's just numerical or alphabetical sortification in the order that we meet them. Nothing more, nothing less. Another thing, contact report, enigmatic spacefarers. It didn't take long for the Galactic Omni Consortium, I'd just say we, to come across intelligent alien life. The fleet reports to the Ornian capital somewhat understates it. Understates just how aliens forces appear, passing dimensions, failure to open comms. Yeah, because we can't talk to them. Direct course towards us. So the science ship has encountered and attempting to evade them. That is interesting. Could you not, please? Oh, it's because we told him to be evasive. You're an idiot, you should... What the... They're not doing anything, they're just sitting over there. It's nothing that we can do. Come on, science ship. Go in science.
Evading hostile fleet.
I told you not to be... Oh, it's evasive. Oh, I'm a stupid idiot. I mean, we all know that. See, they left. And we found the beta aliens in Upnull. We should proceed with caution. Ah, they seem to be... Oh, they are hostile as well. Interesting. And it looks like they're moving towards us. So, let's get the hell out of here. Oh, he has to move. Move is already plotted. You can see the relative strength of, or not the relative, the absolute strength actually of your fleets is this here, military power. An estimate of the combined offensive and defensive capabilities of this fleet. Now this fleet has 75, their fleet has 178, so they are stronger, and I'm gonna leave. So that's basically the early game. You want to... We got the gamma aliens, look at that. So what you want to do in the early game is just scout around, try to find everything there is in your system, and of course in your neighboring systems. Try to investigate everything. Our science ship over here, what's his? Oh, he has a higher anomaly discovery chance, that's nice. So what we can do now is we could research. Okay, we could research this thing here. That's the situation log. These are kind of like quests, you can call them. And if I want to research the alpha aliens, that these were the ones that came to us, then it will finish in 180 days. But this here will be paused. You don't lose any progress or anything, but it just will be paused. So I guess I want to research the alpha aliens, also the beta aliens and everything else. Anyways, we investigated this anomaly, and the anomaly on Dracu turned out to be a natural geometrical formation. That's interesting, I should pause. It almost looks like a marker showing the way forward. The natural beauty of the universe can be quite astonishing. We should continue to investigate these sorts of anomalies whenever we get the chance. It will, most assured, will grant us new knowledge and technology. Yeah, astonishing. Great. So basically, I think this was just the... I think you're guaranteed to get one of those, just to push in the right direction. And the second one that we have over here, The habitable world survey. Why can't I talk today? We now know without a doubt that a thriving biosphere is not something unique to Juven Prime, that's our capital. Both the scientific community and the public at large are eager to learn more about the various forms of alien life found throughout the galaxy. Efforts to catalog the life forms we encountered are already underway, but our senior biologists have urged us to focus our planetary survey on efforts of habitable planets. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Situation log updated.
That gives you the quest of the habitable world survey. I already got that in my other test game, where you have to survey 8 worlds, and then you get something out of it. That's great. And let's see. Oh, and you need to survey again. Great. The civilian ship, the military ships are also idle. You can see they're sleeping. I think we're going... Ooh. What do we have here? It's a G star. Interesting. I'm not sure. Is the Sun a G-class star? Oh, we have a possible habitable world there. That's cool. And no enemies. Good, good. So, I'm gonna plot some moves. If I could. Pause. Let's move to there, then over here. Here. I think we were there already, weren't we? I just... Oh, nice. That's a black hole over there, from the looks of it. Let's do something like this. Is it? Looks kinda sinister over there. Cool. So... Sometimes it doesn't work like that. Delta aliens, interesting. Now, these aliens aren't necessarily, they aren't necessarily enemies, right? And they aren't necessarily sentient, and they aren't necessarily AI. Yeah, see? Now these are the alpha aliens that we encountered, and we now researched them. So we called them space amoebas, or yeah. So those guys are gigantic, well, amoebas, I guess. They float around. We could just kill them, or try to kill them, or we're trying to observe them. Since we are more of a, you know, science kind of guys and not very militaristic, I feel like we should go with this one. I mean, that's basically what we do. We observe and we study. But we will punch people in the face if they come too close. So that's that. Also, I think we're 30 minutes in, somewhat 30 minutes in. Even though I kind of babbled a lot in the first few minutes, doesn't matter. I think I will make a break here. Yeah, I'll make a cut. I hope you liked this video. If you did, then please consider pressing the like button. It helps out a great deal. And I hope I see you in the next episode, which will be up in about, I don't know, half an hour or an hour or so. So thanks for watching, and as always, auf Wiedersehen.